Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Can I just say, I saved this tweet for you because it's just, there's only so few people calling it out, but thank God Lincoln Project said, we're at an inflection point in history. Trump and the MAGA GOP want to return the favor to Putin for his election interference. POTUS and the Democrats want to uphold freedom and democracy. Will we emulate Chamberlain, or will we stand strong against a monstrous dictator? Thank you. I'm glad, like, you've been calling this out ever since the beginning of Mueller, she wrote. It is, this is Putin's party now.
Yeah, that's the Russia hoax we keep hearing all about.
Yeah, we've heard so much about. Yeah. Right, but I mean, on cue, we find about funding to Mike Johnson's campaign from Russia, right?
Yep, like right on cue. And I'm sure we'll see more. And this is nothing more than a call out to please help us in 2024. So,
which he will. I mean, are you concerned about that, Allison? If the stakes, if possible, are even higher for Putin. I mean, basically, Trump has come out and said, get out of NATO, won't protect you if Russia attacks you. He can have Ukraine. I mean, it couldn't be a bigger wish list for Putin, right?
Oh, absolutely. To pull out of NATO, I mean, that was going to be his second-term plan. That's why Russia didn't invade Ukraine when he was president, is because he was going to give it to him. So,
yeah,
here we are. But yeah, and that's one of the only reasons I'm still on Twitter is to try to push back on that misinformation that continues to happen and will continue to happen into next year.
Yeah, as you warned, you said Representative Johnson is a danger to democracy, so we're doing something about it today. MSW Media set up a fund to oust the 18 quote-unquote moderate Republicans in Biden districts that voted to help to elect him speaker. 100% of your donation goes to their Democratic opponents. Good for you. You're just, because you're doing something about it. You're not just talking about it.
Yeah, thanks. And that soft launch, we raised, I think, $60,000 over the weekend already. And I'm going to be donating ad space across the network to run that spot. So that's the least I can do.
And you said, Trump learned what happens when you cross us in 2020. The Republicans in the House will learn the same lesson in 2024. We will flip this House. Yeah, we have to make Mike Johnson's speakership the shortest possible.
Well, if we flip the House, he won't be speaker on January 6th, 2025.
Right. That was we were getting to the same point together, as we always do. You complete me. I say it here, it comes out there. Okay. Anyway, so of all the we got a lot of trial stuff to talk about, but can I just say this? I know it makes us both happy. Claim about Trump's small genital organ going all the way to the Supreme Court this week. I don't know that the mushroom, the teeny mushroom penis. Case may be my favorite. I know we shouldn't get distracted, but a case about mocking Trump's genital organ, as small is set to be heard, because this is how stupid the world has become because of Donald Trump. We'll get to the Supreme Court this week. It's about whether it's a violation of the First Amendment for the government to deny somebody a trademark for a T-shirt that mocks Trump using a double entendre that is clearly a reference to his twig and/or berries. And this is just to cleanse your timeline. I just feel like, I don't want to say bring it up.
I sent that to you as show prep.
You did.
I know.
Well, Okay.
Thomas is really excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he is. He's getting his Coke can ready. Okay, hey, listen. You said, according to, I don't know who it is on MSNBC, it appears Don Jr.'s strategy that he doesn't know anything about accounting and that he relied on CPAs. Too dumb to crime is what got him off the hook in the Mueller probe. I mean, it really is amazing, right? Didn't he say that yesterday? Yeah, I had no idea what was happening, right?
Yeah, I don't know what GAP is. I know what it stands for. I only took Econ 101 at Wharton. Like, he's a executive vice president. He's like, I don't know anything about accounting. I don't know. But they cornered him, man. They got his signature on the Mazars letters, and he got pretty defensive there at the end.
Yeah, I love. And what was the other? I think Eric is going to be either today or tomorrow, right? Depending on how long Coke Spoon goes. I mean, I'm sorry, allegedly. Cokey McCoke Spoon from Coketown. Allegedly. But, I think Eric already tried that too. He said he didn't have anything to do with the financials because he was too busy. What did he say? Pouring concrete? Because that was Eric. Yeah, he was
like over the bodies.
In his life.
What were you?
Yeah, because he was working on the actual building. He didn't know anything about but Allison, as you point out, we keep pointing out over and over, they've already been found guilty. This is just about how much they owe. It is already,
Right.
has already been ruled to be a fraud. Can I ask a dumb question? Maybe you don't know either, but what is the point of having the kids testify? Because they've already lost, and they're going to lie or do, say this stuff that, I didn't know anything about it. What is the point, I wonder? Because obviously they're just trying to determine the amount they owe now.
Well, they're executive officers, and if they didn't testify, they would be able to file an appeal that they didn't get to face their accusers in court. So this is just to prevent appeal, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, and also they could, I don't know. I don't know what Ivanka is going to say, and I don't even get that. I guess I was saying she got removed because of the statute of limitations because she had to go on to do more fraud in the White House with Jerz. So she left the fraud at the Trump organization long ago enough that she got removed technically as a defendant, right?
Right, but as Dan Alexander from Forbes pointed out, she was in the room trying to beef up the value of Doral, Miami, which was her project, lying about the interest rate, lying about the debt on it, in the room there with Weisselberg and her father, two Forbes reporters. So she does have, and Dan Alexander keeps coming out with receipts like, absolutely, Weisselberg talked to me about the 33,000 square foot triplex. Here's the emails,
Yeah.
So.
Obviously the case that disturbs me the most is, and because I think in many ways is the most important to not just national but international security, is the documents case. And, this Judge Cannon, oh my God, I was listening to someone yesterday talking about just how inexperienced she is. And this is obviously a really BFD case, really complex. You said sounds like Canada is going to delay the trial. We'll know soon, maybe. You were retweeting her, Hugo Lowell, saying she appeared inclined to delay the timetable for Trump classified documents case, saying at a hearing that she would enter an order as soon as possible on adjustments to the schedule. Reportedly noted the prospect of clashes with the 2020 case in D.C. set to start in March. I love that because he's such a big crook and there's so many other... with so many other trials, that should be a consideration.
Yeah, well, this is what he does, right? He was caught earlier this year in March playing two judges against each other, trying to schedule his trials around the same time so that he could delay them both.
Yeah.
And it was the amazing and inimitable Roberta Kaplan, who was Eugene's lawyer, who wrote to the two judges, and this wasn't even in her defamation case, this was two other judges, and said, hey, just so you know, this is what Trump is doing. He did this here and he did this here, and that they were able to stagger their trials and to avoid the delays. But he's doing the same thing here. But Cannon either won't understand that or not care, and I think she'll probably kick this back to July or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's infuriating that she's just another inexperienced Trump hack judge that happened to draw this case that, and like I say, Allison, I keep asking this question. Maybe you have some insight because as you and I know, all roads lead back to Russia and to Putin. And the fact that he shared Israeli intelligence with the Russians in the Oval Office that they clearly gave to Iran and Hamas. It just, to me, makes this the most critical case. Don't you think? I mean, is that shoe going to drop? That we're going to learn more about that at some point?
It may. Jack Smith has intimated in his filings that not only is he going to prove that the documents were retained and justice was obstructed, but he's actually going to take it a step further, which is not necessary, and prove with non-classified information why he took the documents.
Yeah.
And so we have that to look forward to, and he wants to delay that as long as possible.
Don't you love that he delayed, because of where he could read the documents that he stole? The whole setting up the skiff and and obviously even Jack Smith said some of the documents are too sensitive to even be in a normal skiff. That's the stuff that were in his right. Then he's waving around at Bedminster.
Yeah, and even then, Jack Smith was like, but by the way, we made those documents available at two different skiffs right down the road from your house. You could have rolled out of bed and gone through the omelet bar and come on right over. But you wanted to take 11 additional days to come and review it. So any delay is on you.
Yeah. The justice system sometimes is infuriating, isn't it? I was listening about, that even this New York, the fraud trial, they're, they can appeal and, when do they actually have to pay the piper, like in the New York case?
Well, the good news there is that they'll probably be receiver, receivership over the businesses, so they won't be able to do anything.
Right, and their business certificates are gone. No one's going to loan to them. But it just, but in terms of whatever the judgment is, when they'll have to pay that, right, is the question.
Yeah, it could take forever, and he might not have $250 million. So
yeah,
he might have to sell some stuff.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Which would be the receivership job.
Yeah,
you know.
Does Bedminster come with Ivanka, or does she get? I don't know. Is it going to be weekend at Ivana? Pardon me. I don't mean to. Sorry, Ivana.
It's Devin. He really does come with the house.